Yeah, pigs. Okay, and they woke us up in the middle of the night. We had to go out and pull dental records and pull medical records as the soldiers were preparing to move out to, I guess that was Cuba.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we did that, and that was the closest that we came to being or partaking in anything that remotely resembled war. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And this is closely related to the last question. Maybe it might be a duplicate or repetitious in a way. What life lessons did you learn in the military service?
I told you one, nobody loves you but your mother.
Okay.
Number two is that the only person that determines who you are, what you will be, is you. And you have to be very strong and very definite about your life. Dan, I got to tell you that I saw experiences in the military that when I look back upon them now, I think, thank God that I had a very strong church foundation, a very strong family foundation, because decisions could have been just the opposite otherwise, okay? I remember one time walking into the Women Army Corps barracks, and in the bathtub was a good friend of mine, and when she was shaking in there, just shivering in the tub, just shaking and just shivering in the tub. And I went and I was wondering what was wrong. And what I found out was that she had had a date with one of the sergeants, and the sergeant had taken her out into some of the fields and he had raped her. And we had to call 911. And of course, the military does a fantastic job of sweeping those kind of stories under the rug. And they did not put her out. And they did, one thing though, said that that sergeant was no longer allowed to come around the wax barracks. I think that's a nice little spank on the hand when you look back on it for something that was so egregious. Okay?
Right.
That's one of the experiences. Another one is Fort Leonard, Missouri is known for its snakes, especially I think it's a coral snake. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's, and this one guy had this snake in his hand. I'll never forget this. I am deathly afraid of snakes. I didn't know the snake was dead, but you could, if I had known about snakes, the way in which it was, you would have known it was dead. But I didn't know at the time, but he chased me. Oh, he didn't catch me. Man, I tell you, I ran right back into the barracks and fast as I could so I can get away from that snake. So that was another experience. One of the fine experiences that I had when I was in special services and I was getting ready to get out of the military, Sally and Jane decided to throw me a luau party and say goodbye to me because I had spent all of my years with them, okay? I was a square dancer there. I was their solo service player. I traveled with them everywhere, and we just had a wonderful experience doing plays and melodrama and singing and just doing everything. So they roasted this pig, and it was like Hawaiian, and they made this drink. And it was, I didn't know it was chased with vodka, and I wasn't a drinker. But it was the best tasting drink I had in a long time. Dan, I was so drunk. First time I've ever been drunk in my life. I had to crawl on my hands and knees to the latrine. I'm serious. And I covered the latrine like this because it was nice and cool and laid my head like that, and I threw right up in the bowl. I am so serious. I was so sick. I made it back to my bed, and I laid in the bed, and guess what happened? I thought that bed was going to turn over on me. I had to put one foot outside the bed to stabilize myself. That's how drunk I was. Now, I was getting out of the service, and I had just gotten my hair done.
You were 20, 21?
21. And I perspired so bad until my whole hairdo was just gone. I couldn't believe what I looked like the next morning after that was all over. And I promised myself, ever get over this experience, I will never drink another drink in my life. But so when I get close to feeling that feeling, I back away from the alcohol whatsoever. But it was a wonderful luau. And I have so many awards and plaques and things from having been a part of the special services. So it was a good thing for me. You would never catch me on a stage. But now I have the confidence to speak before groups all of the time. Before that, I could never do that. It was really good. And so after I got my dental education and I began to teach, it was just a wonderful transition